Okay, well, I decided to go back at it one more time. All right, I fixed the display, so now the character that was out is good. And I decided to also rebuild the power supply completely. This is the display assembly. It's amazing, right? Look at all the discrete components that it takes just to drive this. And this is the computer, essentially, that runs the whole tuner. It's got some microprocessors, obviously. Pretty cool. Pretty amazing. And then you have all your different various boards. MPX boards, audio boards, IF boards, so forth. And it's working great. I basically finished the whole thing. I just want to give a shout out to somebody here. I couldn't have done this really without Brent Hilbert's work. Hilpert, his name right here. Let me see if I can get it in the shot. Brent Hilpert. He really went nuts on these things several years ago, and he reverse engineered this thing. Can you believe this? Look at the amount of work that he did. I mean, I'm not worthy. That's all I could say. This guy really, thank God for him, really. But yeah, he reverse engineered it, and it made kind of digging through this thing much easier. So anyway, he's got a website. I offered to pay him money for a copy of this, and he didn't want to take it. But I said, well, how about a donation? He didn't want to take a donation either. But he must have spent months doing that, or years. I don't know. It looks like it went on for years. Look, the original copyright date is in 2012. And you could see he kept going until, 2018 here. So, a lot of work. Thank you very much, Brent. You're a lifesaver on this one. So, I also decided to do something else. And there's a memory battery. It's a nickel metal hydride, rechargeable. And it's mounted, I don't even know if I can do this here. It normally is mounted underneath on the power supply board down there. And this is the major reason why these all die. They all die because usually this battery leaks and then it kills the power supply board to the point where it's just not practical to do it, rebuild it or repair it. So that's the main mode of failure on these, is the power supply gets destroyed from the battery. Okay, so what I've decided to do is I ordered a battery from the battery guy. I apologize for the fact that it doesn't seem to be focusing, and I don't really know why. I'm using a cell phone, I will admit that. Let me see, maybe it'll focus if I switch to this mode here. Okay, so what I decided to do is put a JST type connector. Let's see here. There's a JST connector mounted to the board, and then I put the female on the other side on the battery. And so now in the future, if it ever has to be replaced, you can just unplug the old battery and plug a new one in. And I just basically mounted it to the back of the unit with double-sided tape, and that's it. So now the battery part works. I know he does. I was going to say, Brent did put a modification. Let me see if I can find that. He did put a modification where you could kind of go do away with that battery, and let's see, and substitute like AAAs or AA's. He mentions it here. A little modification that you would do to the power supply. But I decided I don't want to modify it. I wanted to see if I can get the original charging circuit to work, and I did. So finally, after having this thing in my shop for 2 years, something like that, a year and a half, I finally got it to fully work. So now it memorizes presets. The alphanumeric and full display is working. The auto scan. Of course, I don't have very good signal here, but let's see if it'll stop on something. I only receive a few stations here. Yeah, there's one. And so the scan works. All the functions work. It's great. And after I finish this, I guess I'm going to just do a general alignment. I think I'm just going to adjust the stereo separation really as well. I'm really concerned about. But I also converted it all to LED lighting. So, because I don't really ever want to have to go back in here again. So everything's been converted to LEDs. There's a, see if I can get this in the shot. There's a dropping resistor. For the stereo indicator, you're going to have to put a dropping resistor across that LED. Otherwise, the stereo indicator will just stay on all the time. And I actually don't remember what it was, but I'll have to look that number up. But you put a dropping resistor, and then it'll work properly. You know, it'll go black. You know, go off when it's out of stereo and in when it's in stereo. And that's it. I'm so happy I finally finished this darn thing after a while, after this much time. But it's such a great thing to have. I love this features, you know. Anyhow, yeah, what did I change here? Let's see. Aside from completely recapping the whole unit, obviously, replaced the battery and a bunch of silicon. Let's see if I can get this stuff out. So, regulators, bunch of regulators. Let's see here. I'm so sorry I do this with a phone. I don't have a professional camera. So it is shaky as heck, I'm sure. Yeah, this was a shorted transistor. And that was the first problem I had to figure out. A CA3140. And I got that. And just a bunch of diodes, some out of spec resistors, and all that. And caps. Bunch of soldering work. Cold solder joints all over this thing. I mean, this thing really threw me for lots of loops. Just when I thought I fixed it, then I'd find something else. Then I thought I fixed that, and then I'd find something else. So as you got from stage to stage, you kept uncovering other problems. And then eventually, I got it to work. So anyway, yes, I'm excited. All right, this is a Draco Laboratories made for Sherwood, although I think this one is the point when the Sherwood and Draco parted ways. So these are probably a little later. I think this one might be 78, if I'm not mistaken, 1978. So actually, I think I still have, yes, 1978. Hold on. This was in there. And if whoever worked at the factory recognizes that, that was inside the unit. May 31st, 1978. I think that's what it says. And I'll just show some of these stickers in case anybody that ever worked at Draco or Sherwood, if they recognize any of those markings. But very cool piece. Took a lot of engineering, as you can see, to make a digital synthesized tuner in 1976-77. And of course, this entire thing would be on a single chip today, pretty much. But I mean, look at this. Look at this. This thing must have cost a fortune, not only to buy back then, but to make. I mean, look at all the chips this thing has. It's so cool for just for an FM tuner. It's not even AM and FM. It's FM only, right? But cool as hell. All right. And that's pretty much it. One last shot of it. All right. Draco Labs, part 2. Finally working 100%.